Well, this is not February of 2010, our Dallas Snowmageddon, but it's cold here. And of course, the biggest fear is ice. So we had the trees trimmed to make sure there wouldn't be too much accumulation on the trees. The pool, if it's working properly, I'll walk over here and we'll hear the pool pump in anti-ice mode. Oh, it just turned on. Okay, so it's going to run for about an hour just to push the water around, and then it'll go back into anti-ice mode. I could hear it as I approached that it was running very, very slowly. Okay, just following up on the pool pump, making sure that it is in a trickle mode. We can hear the pump running very slowly. And we can see, if you look real close, water's moving there. That's the chlorine generator. And I was looking for some sign of water flowing there. It's just a trickle, so it's not going to be much, just enough to keep yeah, we got it there. There's a little bit of flow you can see in there. So it's working. Nothing is freezing. Turning into ice, that is. Got a lot of moisture, a lot of water in the pool on top of the pool cover. The other concern is the chickens. They have to drink water, and every year prior to this recent fix, my back porch could be a little cleaner. We use these cups and they freeze, and the ice breaks the pipes and you have to reinstall everything, so that's not fun. We used to bring a crock pot out and plug it in to keep the water from freezing. So now we've got this water system here, and that's warm to the touch, so that's working. And then this is another type of heating element that goes in next to the hose. It's been taped onto the hose, as we can see here. And then I put a little bit of, I had some of this extra insulation, so I put some on there. It's really not doing anything, but the element, the heating element, is taped onto the hose, so we've got water flowing. I'm going to come let the chickens out, unplug their feed buckets. I'm thinking they'll come out hungry. There's always one that gives me grief. We can look over here and see that the water is not frozen. That's good. And I will definitely show how that happened. This is full of ice too. I'm gonna let the chickens out before I push that ice off. That is the plan, Stan. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Hello, ladies. We're going to leave you alone for a while. Coop number 2. Over here we have coop number 1. It was the original coop. We just added this one on. Okay, so again, anti-rat. Okay. That's 2, 3, and 3. It's cold out here. I'm not wearing gloves. Okay. And then we let the ladies out. Hello, ladies. Come on out. Out. So we keep the hens out of their laying boxes. And they were able to open these up until I put this chain on. Hello, ladies. Okay. And I put these on because they would squeeze over. They were quite determined to sleep in the egg laying boxes, but they have been blocked out. Go ahead, jump. There you go. Okay. Left the door wide open. That's not good. Okay. So while I'm here, let's just go ahead and go over this device here. So we've got a 30-gallon water jug with a trough, 2-inch PVC with holes drilled in it. This is a 115 volt solenoid keeping the water from flowing right now. Gravity feed only. The blue hose coming in, I'll show you later, has a float that turns it off when the barrel is full. And then we've got the plumbing goes, the trough goes all the way down and cuts in or cuts out to the outside. We'll go over that in a minute. So against the wall we have a controller, and off the controller, and the red light on the controller being standby, it's in standby, it's not actually operating right now. And then off the controller, the top wire, the wire right there on the top, is the temperature sensor, and it comes over and drops in to there, which takes the temperature of the water at the furthest point in the circulation system. And then there's a 12 volt DC pump that pushes the water up and recirculates it back into the barrel. Okay, and I'll go out. Instead of drinking the water, they're eating the ice. On this end, we've got this gravity filters, 2 of them there, that you can see that the chickens actually are quite dirty with their beaks, and so dirt and other crud gets in there, and the theory is that the dirt will drop into this, give it 2 opportunities to do that, and then we empty it from time to time. This is a level sensor, so that as the chickens drink the water out, the level drops and turns on the solenoid, which is normally closed. Opens the solenoid, allows the water to flow in until this says it's full. Okay, and then that's the return line, comes down here. And I've got unions where they need to be, so I can take it all apart and not have to break out anything. Okay, so there's the little bitty pump. As I said before, the Temperature sensor is here. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So right now, the temperature is 39.3, 22. Should drop again pretty quick. 39.2. When it gets to 38, the system will go until it gets to 45. So you can see below the 39.2, it says 38, that's start, and 45 is stop. Okay, and then before I miss it, this is a fail-safe in the event that water stops coming into the system and the chickens drink the barrel down below this point. It turns the system off so that it cannot burn up. But inside here we've got a heater. So there's the heater, and there's the float bowl that keeps the water from overflowing into the barrel. So when the temperature drops below 38, it turns on the heater and it turns on the pump at the same time. So the water's being heated and circulated at the same time. And it's going to cycle here pretty soon. It's down to 38.3 already. And we'll see. We'll just wait here for a minute. 38.31, here it goes. Okay, so it's cycling. You can hear the pump operating. You can see water coming in. You see the red light on the heater saying that the heater's on. I don't have a temperature sensor on the barrel. I don't know what the temperature is in the barrel, but I'm pretty sure it stays fairly warm. We should see a little bit of water flow here, maybe. Anyway, it circulates, and it will continue to circulate until the temperature in the furthest point again here is, oops, got a little bit of a leak there. It runs over every now and then when that solenoid opens. Okay, so that is, thumbs are cold. All right, so the pool, anti-icing, the chicken watering system, anti-icing, and then over here, just some ideas, maybe. Everybody will tell me I'm doing it wrong, whatever. So we have a filter, a whole house filter system that is in here. And that straight down is a heater that is an anti-ice heater. So when you turn the thermostat all the way down, it comes on at 40 degrees and stays on. So that's that little system there. And then this, to prevent icing for the water faucet coming out, that is just a standard container from Lowe's, and then cut in half. And then just for fun, I'll show you that the inside is insulated with what they call great stuff, I guess, insulation. And so that takes care of this from freezing. Okay. All right, and then all of these systems pretty much rely on electricity. So if we lost electricity, which happens more than people would like, this is a do-it-yourself whole house Westinghouse generator with a total harmonic dissonance of 6. It's either 5 or 6, I can't remember. It is actually in standby on mode, and the power is on, ready to work. If it does start, the power is on. It is a dual fuel. It is full of gasoline that has been, it is ethanol free gasoline, and it has been treated to last up to 2 years without going bad. So it's still portable. I can plug it in, unplug it. It goes straight in the house. It has a battery tender in here that is plugged in right there. So it's ready to start. We'll just start it for fun, see if it'll start. It's going to do it 3 times. If the third time it doesn't start, then I've got to do something else. Bummer. Okay, baby, come on. Third time's a charm. Let's go. Let's go. Idle, there we go. Okay, we let it run for a while. Okay. So, on the other side of the wall from the generator, we have the main panel for the home. This is an interlock. These two 50 amp breakers come in from the generator, and it's off, and it cannot be turned on until we turn off the main power. So if there was no power coming in from the meter, from, in this case, Encore is our utility service provider for electric. So the electric's out, nothing's coming in, we just turn this off. When it's off, this will then slide up and allow this to be turned on. Before we turn that on, we turn all of the breakers, all the breakers go off. Everything goes off. Then we turn this on. And then, okay, so an assumption is, rather than assume, I'll say, at this point, if the power's gone off, the first thing that we do is we've got a remote. So we push the remote for the generator. The generator starts. So the generator's running and it's warming up. Then we'll come out here, we'll turn off the main power that's not working anymore. We'll lift this up, we'll turn off all of the breakers. So all of the breakers are off. Then we turn this off, and we push the interlock up and turn on the generator. So now the generator's been running maybe half a minute or longer. It's warm. Excuse me. And then we'll start cycling, turning all of the breakers back on one at a time. Click 1001, 1002, click 1001, 1002, until all of the breakers are back on again. Now you can select, so we've got over here, we see that the dryer is 10 and 12. So over here, this 10 and 12, we might want to turn it off so that if somebody forgets the generator is running, we don't need to run the dryer. Okay, if we do have to run the dryer, then maybe we'll come over here and we'll turn the cooktop and the oven. So that's going to be 9, 11. So 9, 11, 13, and 15. So we'll turn those off. So we're not going to run the dryer and the oven or the cooktop at the same time. The generator can handle everything else. The air conditioner, heater stays on. So that's that. So that is the complete anti-icing program, and we're just going to hope that it works. Well, the next day, January 25, 2026, we got a little bit colder. I think it's about 14 degrees. Now we actually have ice on the water in the pool. We'll go this way next. I just recently pushed a lot of the snow off of the roof here. And the water is circulating now. The green light on the controller is on. Oh, I can't see it. There it is. And we can hear the pump running. And we can see water flowing here. So everything's working as designed. That's very good. And we can see that we do get some spillage here. Doing it right now. I could lower the level in the trough. Seems like every time I do, then it gets too low. So, and I noticed it's cold enough that there is actually ice forming on that opening along the edges. You might be able to see the ice forming. There's a lot more over here. So yeah, it's fairly cold, but the water remains fluid. The system's working great. The wind is blowing my canvas roof here. Oh, we got an egg. I'll come back and get it. Okay. We'll go check out the pool next. Trying to keep the birds happy. Okay. Everything is working as designed. Generators over there sitting in standby mode. And I can check the temperature in the water filter enclosure. I've got a Govee Bluetooth thermometer in the water filter enclosure. So all is working great. This is the end of the video, finally.